and I'll say it 1,003,452 times if I need to. There's no way you can hate Shedeur Sanders. Tony Grossi, a guy who is known in the Cleveland media for not being a fan favorite, for always being annoying, asking the wrong questions, starting all types of problems. Shedeur Sanders went up to him and straight up had the question for him.
Tony Grossi thought he had the perfect hot take locked and loaded, but then Shedeur Sanders came swinging through with the sledgehammer of straight-up facts and undeniable swagger. 1 second, Grossi was puffing his chest, talking slick into the mic, and the next he was drowning in instant regret, wondering how he managed to fumble his own narrative so badly. This wasn't just a clapback, it was a public demolition. Shadur didn't just win the exchange, he left Grossi fried like a busted light bulb in a storm, sparking out with no recovery in sight. Now Cleveland knows all about disasters, right? Drafting quarterbacks has become their weird little tradition, like holiday decorations. New one every season. Coaches come and go faster than outdated ringtones, and somehow the factory of sadness just keeps the assembly line moving year after year. But this time, it wasn't the Browns' front office cooking up another mess. It was Tony Grossi himself, the so-called seasoned media vet, diving headfirst into humiliation. See, Grossi's been around forever.
Like, he's hurting, and this is what he's best at giving interviews.
You know, it's funny. You see it that way. I see it as I think he really does think he's better than half the quarterbacks in this league.
He probably
and
does.
I like that.
He probably does.
I like that a lot.
I be hoping you got something positive to say about me. You only say negative stuff about me. No. And I'm like, I ain't do nothing to you.
No, don't think bad.
I ain't seen nothing positive that you ever say.
He's weathered the storm of quarterback busts, hopeless coaching hires, and every Browns breakdown imaginable. He's like that one uncle who still rocks acid-wash jeans, swearing they're about to be cool again, only they never are. And when it comes to hot takes, oh, Tony never misses a chance to fire off. But this time, his shot was so off target, he basically blew his own foot clean off on live radio. It all started with what seemed like a harmless setup. ESPN Cleveland tossed Shedeur Sanders a simple question. Do you feel ready to play? That's it, a rookie quarterback.
Conversation. After he got off the podium and was walking to the locker room, I was behind him and I not shouted, as it called his name for him to stop. I wanted to ask him one more question. So he didn't come directly to me.
Okay.
I actually came to him first. And we're both laughing at the end. Now somebody asked me, well, what did I say to make him laugh? And to be honest with you, I'm trying to recollect that. And I know I said, you know, he started saying, why do you hate me, you know? And my response to him was, listen, I do say positive. I've read positive things about you.
Drafted into one of the NFL's wildest, most unpredictable franchises, being asked if he's ready to step up. And what does Shadur say? The most predictable, professional response in the book, of course I'm ready. What else could he say? Imagine him answering, nah, I'm terrified, and the only spotlight I want is a sandwich deal at Subway. Come on now, no rookie in their right mind is gonna say that. But somehow, this harmless by-the-numbers reply sent Tony Grossi spiraling into a full-on meltdown. Suddenly, Shadur wasn't just answering a simple question. Oh no, in Grossi's mind, he was auditioning for TikTok Influencer of the Year. Grossi went off, accusing him of chasing cameras, craving viral moments, and being addicted to the spotlight.
Any player saying what's on his mind, he didn't approach them. Justin approached him, but you got to be mindful of what you say. And I think the one quote that, you know, from what I see around the league, I could do better.
Do you think it was directed as his teammates or no? And
I don't think that.
Malice?
But,
no,
but
malice.
But it could come just like when Dylan Gabriel said, I'm a competitor, not an entertainer. Everyone assumed he was talking about Shadur.
Yeah.
The same thing you could assume.
Yeah.
Which is hilarious when you think about it, because the interview wasn't on Shadur's Instagram Live, it wasn't a vlog from his basement, it was ESPN Cleveland, the very people who live off shoving microphones into athletes' faces and begging for sound bites. So let's get this straight. Shadur politely answers a question he didn't even ask for, and suddenly he's being labeled some kind of diva who can't survive without attention? That logic is so twisted, it's like blaming someone for eating dinner after you handed them a full plate. Grossi's argument was so backwards, you half expected him to start yelling about gravity being fake or the sun taking a day off. But here's where it really got messy. Grossi doubled down. He didn't back off. He leaned in, painting Shadur as a spotlight-chasing rookie who's clinging to the camera even while sitting third string at quarterback. And here's the kicker. During the very same rant, Grossi flat out admitted that Shadur didn't even seek out the interview. That's right, he basically torched his own argument live on air. It's like carefully building a sandcastle, kicking it down yourself, and then blaming the ocean for being unfair. At that point, Browns fans couldn't help but laugh, because Grossi wasn't just stumbling, he was unraveling faster than a dollar store sweater tossed in a hot dryer. Every sentence contradicted the last.
This is your big night. I mean, congrats, you had a big night. So I don't know what precipitated the laughter. I can't recall, but that's where it ended. And I really believe that. He had a triumphant.
First, Shedur's desperate for attention. Then, well, okay, maybe he didn't actually ask for attention, but he should be careful what he says. Then suddenly, confidence is good for quarterbacks. But wait, it's also arrogance, but then again, maybe it's fine? The man was tripping over his own takes, doing verbal gymnastics so clumsy, Simone Biles would have thrown her medals on the ground and retired on the spot. And here's where it went from messy to straight-up comedy. Grossi admitted, mid-rant, that the Browns' offense is terrible. Not just bad, embarrassingly bad. So bad, you'd start Googling Ohio high school quarterbacks like, yo, are they available this Sunday? He said it clear as day. The team can't score points, the offense is broken, the system is busted, and right there, without even realizing it, he made Shedur's case for him. Because if the guys ahead of him can't deliver, why wouldn't you give the rookie with confidence a shot? The rookie believes he can do better. And maybe, just maybe, that's not arrogance at all. Maybe that's reality. Think about it for a second. Joe Flacco, bless his antique knees, is still out here throwing passes like he's digging graves, trying to bury footballs 6 feet under with every out route. Half his throws look like a long dart contest gone wrong. Meanwhile, the Browns' offense is sputtering. Defenses are literally laughing. And yet, Grossi wants us to believe the real problem is Shedur's confidence? No, Tony. Let's call it like it is. The Browns' quarterback room looks more like a retirement community than an NFL roster.
A word of advice. Be locked in. And Rizzo said, this pissed me off when he talked about the hat. Now, see, guys, y'all got to understand, like I've said in these previous videos, man, it's a lot of smoke and mirrors, man. You guys got to pay attention to what's going on because Rizzo said it. There's no Shadur buzz. And the guy was like, oh, yes, it is. And this is what they come up with because Shedeur Sanders being a great teammate, consoling the kicker.
But of course, Grossi couldn't stop there. He doubled down, waving around that Rams preseason game like it was some kind of smoking gun. His entire argument boiled down to, look, Shadur took sacks. Oh no, sound the alarms. A rookie quarterback got sacked behind a broken offensive line, like that hasn't happened 1,000 times in NFL history. Please. And here's what he left out. Shadur didn't turn the ball over, not once. And in Kevin Stefanski's system, turnovers are the real killers, the things that end drives and bury games. But Grossi ignored that completely. Instead, he obsessed over sacks, as if those are career-ending crimes. By that logic, Grossi would treat tripping on the sidewalk like it's worse than robbing a bank. And let's talk about the comedy in all this, because while Grossi was nitpicking sacks, he conveniently ignored Dylan Gabriel, who coughed the ball up like he was auditioning for most generous turnover machine.
What does Tony Grossi have against Shadur that he's just hating on him so much? He literally is coming up with excuses in this interview just to say whatever just because he doesn't like him. For some reason, he has hate built up. Y'all literally see, after that video, he confronted Tony. He's like, why are you saying negative stuff about me, Tony? Just say something positive. And Shadur wasn't bad about it. So I don't know why y'all hating on him. He handled it well.
2 mistakes in limited snaps, yet somehow, in Grossi's world, that's less concerning than a rookie not giving the ball away. Make it make sense. And then, here's where it gets downright juicy. Grossi circled all the way back and admitted, live on air, that players have every right to be confident. And, oh yeah, Shadur didn't even chase that interview to begin with. Wait, hold up! Did Grossi just agree with the same rookie he spent 15 minutes tearing down? That's instant regret in its purest form. You could practically hear the gears grinding in his head as he realized he had argued himself straight into a corner with no exit. And here's the truth. This was never about football. Shedur's answer was completely normal. Coaches want their quarterbacks to be confident. Teammates expect it, fans respect it, and even the head coach backed him up saying, all the guys feel ready. So why on earth did this turn into a scandal? Simple. Media figures like Grossi survive by cooking up drama out of thin air.
Cleveland. Tony Grossi of the Daily Grossi, him and Big Chops was on their podcast today, and they had some choice words to say about what Shedeur said when he was interviewed by his locker on his comments about him being ready, he wants to play now, and then talking about the quarterback play around the NFL.
Cleveland's been starved of headlines for years. The city hasn't felt this much buzz since Johnny Manziel was skipping practice to hit Vegas pool parties. So when Grossi sniffed a little controversy, he went all in, chasing that rush of clicks and fake outrage like it was oxygen. And here's the hilarious irony. He accused Shadur of chasing the spotlight, while doing the exact same thing himself. The only difference? Shadur earned his platform. He dominated in college, shattered records, collected awards, and proved himself on the field. Grossi, on the other hand, earned his spotlight by yelling about a rookie on live radio, then tripping over his own words until his credibility melted down into a puddle. But let's not skate past the glaring double standard here. It's impossible to miss. Other quarterbacks walk around with swagger and get showered in praise. Caleb Williams paints his nails, and suddenly it's called personality. Jackson Dart throws on gold chains, and people call it moxie. But Shadur, he answers one basic question with confidence, and suddenly he's the villain. Apparently, confidence is only celebrated when it comes wrapped in the right package. Everybody else gets labeled a competitor. Shadur gets stamped arrogant. Funny how that works, right? And here's the kicker.
Shedeur Sanders found Tony Grossi, the one that, if y'all look at my last video, I talked about him having an agenda of constantly saying bad things about Shadur. Shadur found him after the game and addressed him. I think we all can take a page out of Shedur's book about somebody who constantly has something negative to say about you, and you don't necessarily know how to approach it. And Shadur calmly went over to him and said that, man, I hope you finally got something positive to say after tonight, because you're always saying something negative about me.
While Grossi was busy demanding proof that Shadur could actually play, the proof was already staring him dead in the face. The Browns' offense is atrocious. The veterans in front of him are coughing up turnovers like candy on Halloween. The head coach literally backed Shedur's mindset, saying the team appreciates his confidence. And let's keep it real. Shadur hasn't caused a single problem. He hasn't trashed teammates, hasn't stirred locker room drama, hasn't demanded trades. He's just been putting in work, staying ready, and carrying himself like a professional. That's exactly what you'd want in a young quarterback. But instead of admitting it, Grossi tied himself into knots, twisting confidence into some kind of crime. And in doing so, he accidentally gave Shadur more positive press than any PR team could have ever dreamed of. He ended up spotlighting the kid's college dominance, reminding everyone he hasn't turned the ball over, and basically building the very case for why Shadur deserves a real shot. If this was supposed to be a hit piece, then it might go down as the worst one in sports radio history.
I don't understand your emotional investment in Shadur.
Tony, I'm rooting for the kid. Don't worry about what my investment is. Worry about what your investment is with your guy. Don't worry about me. Don't worry about why I like a guy. I think that kid can play better than Dylan Gabriel. I said it before the draft, and I'll stick to it. I think he got a raw deal here in Cleveland. End of story. That's how I feel. Don't tell me how to feel.
Tony Grossi played himself harder than the Browns' offense on 3rd and long, and by the end of his rant, you could practically hear the regret leaking through his voice. That slow, painful realization hit him. He wasn't making sense. He'd contradicted himself half a dozen times, and instead of burying Shadur, he'd put him on a pedestal. This is what happens when you walk into the studio with a conclusion already written, then try to twist reality to fit it. Reality doesn't bend, Tony. It breaks you. And that's exactly what went down. A veteran journalist thought he could clown a rookie quarterback, stir up some cheap drama, and end up looking like the authority. Instead, he came out looking desperate, while the rookie walked away the winner without lifting a finger. Shadur left the moment looking calm, confident, and professional. And when the biggest controversy surrounding your team is a rookie saying he feels ready to play, maybe the issue isn't the rookie. Maybe the issue is that the media's got nothing real left to talk about. Grossi tried to create a headline, but all he created was a meme. And somewhere out there, Shedeur Sanders is probably grinning, because once again, he proved the doubters wrong just by showing up. So the next time Grossi fires up a rant, maybe he'll think twice, or maybe he won't. Because let's be honest, instant regret is starting to look like his trademark move. He wanted to frame Shadur as some fragile rookie who should sit quiet in the back with a clipboard, waiting for the elders to bless him with playing time. But reality doesn't work that way. The real story is an offense stumbling over itself while the rookie is ready and waiting. Every Sunday in Cleveland feels like deja vu. Receivers running routes to nowhere. Quarterbacks tossing the ball straight into defenders' hands like they're auditioning for the other team. And in that kind of reality, Shedur's confidence wasn't arrogance, it was oxygen. Because here's the truth. This franchise isn't exactly known for its long, shining history of quarterback greatness.
Keeping it lighthearted and just, this is how leaders or people win over people. I'm so curious to know if this is going to change Tony Grossi's perspective on Shedeur Sanders. And if he does start to say positive things and maybe starts to like Shedeur Sanders. But it seems as if Shadur right now can do no wrong. I pray that he continues to walk on this path because Cleveland has needed a guy like Shadur. We've had the Nick Chubbs of the world. We've had the Denzel Wards. We've experienced the Myles Garretts of the world and David Njoku's and Baker Mayfield's and Jarvis Landry's, but we've never experienced anything quite like Shedeur Sanders, and I'm here for every.
That list of past Brown starters, it reads like the punchline to an NFL trivia night. So when someone like Shadur steps in, showing poise, protecting the football, and actually sounding like he believes in himself, you'd think the fan base would be desperate to embrace it. Instead, Grossi tried to twist that confidence into some kind of crime. And here's where the comedy of errors really takes off. He pointed to the Rams' preseason game like it was a smoking gun. One vanilla outing against backups in August with watered-down play calling, and Grossi wants to claim the verdict is sealed forever? Please. That's like judging a chef's entire career because he burned one piece of toast at brunch. It's ridiculous. Shedur's 0 turnovers? Ignored because they don't fit Grossi's storyline. Meanwhile, Dylan Gabriel was out here coughing the ball up like he was personally trying to gift wrap turnovers for the defense, but somehow Shedur's the reckless one? The logic is upside down, and it doesn't stop there. Grossi, in the same rant, said quarterbacks need to exude confidence, that swagger is part of the job, that they should believe they can play. Then 2 breaths later, he tried to spin Shedur's confidence into a PR stunt. That's not football analysis. That's mental gymnastics at Olympic speed. Grossi was flipping his take so fast, he could have qualified for the U.S. trials, and the audience could see the disaster unravel in real time. And that's when the whole thing flipped on Grossi, because fans weren't buying it for a second. Social media lit him up like a Friday night scoreboard.
Yeah, it's almost like divine intervention.
Thank you.
It's like, we're going to create an opportunity for you, Shadur, that no one saw coming. And this is it. Now, this isn't the only opportunity, so if he doesn't light it up, you know, I think he gets closer to the pack. In the pack I'm talking about is Pickett and Gabriel.
Yeah. So, Tone, why do then the Browns keep saying it's still wide open?
Are they saying it, or is the media saying it?
Well, Stefanski, I guess. And Aaron and I debated this.
Clips of his rant started circulating, and people were clowning him nonstop, pointing out every contradiction, every backpedal, every time he tried to twist Shedur's confidence into something it wasn't. Memes popped up instantly. Grossi's name was trending not for his insight, but for getting cooked by his own argument. It was brutal. Browns fans, national media, even neutral fans were laughing at how badly he fumbled this take. Shedeur Sanders didn't have to clap back, didn't have to tweet a word, didn't even need to acknowledge it. Grossi had already done all the damage to himself. The more he tried to paint Shadur as arrogant, the more people saw the rookie as calm, collected, and exactly the type of quarterback Cleveland has been starving for. By the end of the week, Grossi wasn't just wrong. He became the example, the cautionary tale. He proved what happens when a veteran journalist tries too hard to manufacture drama and ends up handing the rookie the best PR boost of his young career. He literally admitted it all. Admitted Shadur didn't chase the interview, admitted the Browns' offense is a disaster, admitted confidence is a must for quarterbacks, and still tried to twist it into villainy. It was like watching a guy spend all afternoon building a sandcastle, only to stomp it flat himself, then blame the ocean for the mess. By the end, Grossi didn't humble Shadur. Shadur humbled Grossi without even trying. The rookie quarterback didn't lift a finger, didn't break a sweat, and yet the veteran journalist managed to dismantle his own case brick by brick until all that was left was a pile of contradictions and a fan base laughing at the irony. And now I want to hear from you. What do you think about Grossi's meltdown? Did Shadur come out looking like the true winner here? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Make sure to hit that like button, subscribe, and share this video with your friends. And I'll see you on the next one.